What's up, guys? It's your boy GRC. This is Crypto in the Morning live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. Me and Sam just had a dopaminergically fueled conversation about buying a jet and Airbnb-ing it, about providing liquidity, about how I just bought a stick shift $3,500 car and it's an absolute glider on the highway, dude. That thing is amazing on the highway, bro. I had no idea I could have an experience like that in a car like that. I ain't know much about cars, okay? So put that to wherever you want it. I just got a 91 or 94 or 96 Honda. I'm not even sure, really, to be honest. I'm driving that thing on the highway. First time I ever drove a stick shift. Everyone's like, oh, you got to learn everything. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, jumped in the car. Fucking, I'm out of there. Like, people, side tangent, people really narrow down how good they can be at something or like judge how good or how hard something is. I'm like, oh, everyone knows how to drive a stick shift. Oh, this is probably easy as fuck. So I looked up one video for 3 minutes just to make sure I either had to put the clutch in or not in for whatever. I'm off of there fucking cruising, baby. Cruising. Gliding. I feel like I'm not using any gas when I'm on that stick shift too, which is nice. You're like you're just going down the highway and it's like $3,500. I'm like, I'm traveling all over the world. This is incredible. Incredible. You can make it happen, guys. You can make it happen. But this is all side tangent. Today, for the first 30 minutes, me and Sam are going to talk about Alex Mashinsky and why he should be getting booty bandited in prison right now. He should be in prison. Alex Mashinsky should be in prison. He told everyone to their face that your money is safe with me. And it's all gone. That's where I'm from. You go to prison for that shit. You need to go to prison. I'm going to figure out how to get this guy in prison, and I'm going to get some booty bandits on his ass. Guys, we're going to be talking about Celsius. Sam has started providing liquidity, and he's excited, and I'm excited, and he's learning at a fast rate. And I thought something very interesting that K4K Crypto mentioned on his stream yesterday, which I just totally agreed with. He mentioned that he doesn't think, he wasn't attacking anyone. He said, I don't think most Mexicans know how to provide liquidity. And I was like, wow. Because, you know, when you come into the crypto space, you have to learn what other people know as well. That's part of the learning curve, because you got to know where you stand, and then you got to figure out when you pass them to see, like, you know, it's all about like mental framing. But anyway, guys, we're going to get into a whole bunch of shit today. The episode yesterday absolutely popped off. Amazing. I literally was going to do a whole nother episode 5 seconds before we just started streaming the Twitter space. More comments, more likes, guys. I so appreciate that. Very much appreciate all that. Me and Sam are working really hard in our individually and together just to dominate. I don't even know, just dominate everything. And we're on a good path. I'm excited. KSB TV, guys. Go to KSBTV/golf. I will be there in person on the feet. The Honda's staying in the driveway, baby. I'm flying. Okay? I'm going to go down there. It's a golf tournament sponsored by Cryptos. 11 holes so far. I have to get with KSB TV today, I think, after the show. And we're going to talk. I want to make it big. I want to make it big. If you like golf, again, I'm not a golfer. I'm covering the stuff. I'm going to be with the camera crew running around or whatever. But if you like to golf for real, I know Dipcatcher likes to golf. I know Gold Key likes to golf. Let's get these guys in the golf tournament, because I want to shake everyone's hand and say, what's up? Anyone who's interested in all that stuff, just DM me or DM Black Hexagon or DM a bit. And because that's happening whether you're there or not, guys. 1 minute, 9 seconds, intro song. We'll be back.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking a blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim ready to send me to show you the way. D5 Pro, yeah. Crypto in the morning. 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 Crypto in the morning.
Oops. The chat is bussing right now, guys.
What's good? What's good?
Damn.
What's Gucci? It's good. I just came back from the gym. I'm looking forward to this conversation around Celsius, right? I think there was a video I was trying to find, or maybe you already have it up or something, where
Which one? So I can pull it.
Alex Mashinsky was talking about Chapter 11 in the past, and not right now, but he was talking about it in a
I get it.
video from, like, I don't know when it was from, but it was from a while back, and we're going to try to find that so we can see what his take was before they actually filed, because that's going to give us an idea of his thinking going into
There's
this.
some really disgusting shit came out of that dude's mouth in the last year. I mean, not disgusting at the time, but disgustingly deceitful.
Oh man! And then we're going to talk about some
He doesn't even
LPs.
give a fuck. He doesn't even. I don't think he did.
He's probably already wealthy, I would assume. And
Yeah, but at this point, we're not talking about wealth. We're talking about life or death
for some people,
for him. No, I'm talking
You
about
think?
him. Dude,
You
he can't
think?
go anywhere for the rest of his fucking life. Ever.
a lot of people forget shit. I
Well,
don't know.
yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
right. You're right. You're right. But like, dude, if that was me, people didn't forget Mount Gox. What if you were the guy just walking around the streets that goxed everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the best. I mean, it's not like
No, correct. I know. Yeah, there's gonna be
no.
some.
So,
fucking-
and I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
reputation-wise,
agree.
I would be just distraught. But clearly, he's dealt with those demons a long time ago.
Yeah. We're also gonna talk about LP. If somebody was like, "Hey, I want 10 T-shares, and I'm gonna stake that for the long enough period of time that I can earn 40%," does it make sense?
4,000 days.
So does it make sense to do that where 10 T-shares is about $10,000? Does it make sense to just buy 10 T-shares with your $10,000, or does it make more sense to provide liquidity with your $10,000 and earn X every single month that then you can stake out into the future? So we're going to take a look at that example. Not saying you should do or not do anything. It's just more things to hopefully give you a different perspective or a different way of thinking about things or seeing things. And I also wanted to ask everybody in here, what are some of your RG3 in the house?
RG3 is coming on the show to talk to us about some stuff as well.
Cool. I want to
because
hear.
he
what
has
is
a
he
lot
talking
of
about?
insight on some of this stuff, and he's on his way back right now. Hey, just take your time, man. We're just sitting here chit-chatting. Get yourself comfortable. And I have some questions for you about Chapter 11 as well.
Yes. Okay. So there's different types of chapters of bankruptcy. Each one comes with a different rule set you follow, right? Like if you play Monopoly, you go by that set of rules. If you play charades, you go by that set of rules. If you play poker, you go by that set of rules. And that's how you can think of bankruptcy. So chapter 11, 7, 13 are some of the most common ones out there. And each one of those has a different set of rules associated with it. We have a video here. I think this is related to the...
Give it one sec.
This is going to be Alex Mashinsky. I don't know when this is from, but
I don't want to hear his commentary. I just want him to go straight into it. So this is from 6 days ago, actually. And this is mentioning if it's possible, if they could go into Chapter 11 6 days ago. So this was 6 days ago, guys. He's looking healthy. His skin looks good. I mean, I can't believe it. Like, how this guy keeps any bit of integrity. Like, he is the gypsy of all gypsies. Like, he is the king gypsy. This is King Gypsy. Make the memes. Start it now. This dude started probably at a carnival somewhere. Because he's got all the tricks in the book.
Which was a company that was issuing loans in the crypto space, filed Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is basically bankruptcy. where the company says we can no longer run our business, we cannot give the money back to the depositors, we cannot pay our liabilities, obligations. They're in their filings. They said that they have 50 to 100 million of assets, and they have between $300 and $500 million in liabilities. That's a very, very bad situation. So Cred obviously, I think, was trying to chase Celsius for quite some time. They've paid rates that they could not afford. They've issued aggressive loans because they were trying to stay in the game, and they've been basically taking too much risk trying to keep up with Celsius. And you shouldn't be comparing Celsius and Cred because it's completely two different companies. For example, Cred was doing most of its loans in China. They were lending unsecured to gamers and to all kind of other players. As I stated in my tweet online, we don't do any loans in China. We only lend against collateral to all of our retail users. I've asked anyone on the AMA, I'm asking right now, anyone who received an uncollateralized loan from Celsius, go on Twitter, give us a loan number that you got, and I will give you $1,000 just to prove that Celsius does not do non-collateralized loans. So, and collateralized, I mean 200%. I lent you $10,000, you gave me 20,000 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? That's our business. We have not changed that business in 3 years. So today Celsius has much more on deposits than any loans we've given out. We've stated that we have over 2.2 billion in assets, in deposits, and our loan book is about 1.1 billion right now. So it's about 50%. So the ratio is exactly what I've been telling you before. And
just to give it a context, Cred was a crypto lending platform that filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 11, in November 2020. It's been almost 2 years, and unsecured lenders still have not received any funds back. This is why bankruptcy is not an option for Celsius Network, guys. The question that Mashinsky needs to answer today is, what is the state of their total assets, liabilities, and their loan book? I don't like spreading for.
Oops, sorry.
Alex has said in the past, the worse it looks now. The slogan, unbank yourself and banks are your friend, feel like a joke right now.
Unbank yourself was his slogan.
AMA,
Unbank yourself.
Mention over collateralized loans.
Unbank yourself.
But what seems to be messing up with Celsius right now is the under collateralized loans that they gave to the big institutions who now are not paying their loans back. Celsius advertised a low-risk saving accounts whilst taking all the risks of DeFi. And yes, they've been paying their debts, reducing liquidation price, and regaining the liquidity of the assets that were being used.
Whoops, the sound cut out there. That's a very interesting video. But before we jump into the video and our thoughts on the video, RG is in the house. What is good, bro? How you doing?
Looking absolutely shredded. See those bicep shreds coming in. How you feeling?
Hold on, you're muted. Oops, there you go. There you go. I got muted.
There we go. I'm feeling amazing, man. I feel great. Dude, Sam, your last set of pictures have freaking motivated me. Bro, you are a fucking beast, man.
Let's go. Crazy, bro.
Dude, how much do you weigh? What?
230 right now.
Woo! And your height?
6'1".
Oh, you're a big dude. You're a big dude.
He's lean right now too. I mean, he was 20 pounds heavier just 90 days ago.
Damn, bro. Dude, you motivate me, man. You inspire me. So
it motivates me too. I need to get my shit together as far as I hurt my back so incredibly bad. And I'm telling you, when that shit lingers forever, and I could be more proactive about it, but I do also love the computer time. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. So the computer time's been great. I never had an experience with the computer, so sitting here and having time to look at it. But anyway, I want to mention a couple things. Then that dude is the absolute goat, by the way. Like, he was trying to, in a very open way, 6 days ago, in an open way. He clearly had funds with Celsius because he wasn't trying to be evil about it. And he was like, I'm not trying to FUD, but these are the facts. 6 days later, gone. Chapter 11, out. Boom. They aren't going to see their money at all. Forever. Forever. Gone forever. Your money's gone forever. If you're
that was their
watching
get
this.
out of jail free card is what it was.
That dude
And-
is the absolute fucking man. I need to get him on the show.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, man. And you know, we've all been warned about it. And you know, there's even Hexicans in the background. I'm not going to mention them who were playing around with this thing for a long time. You know,
And not shilling it. I'm not going to say they were shilling it.
no,
but
they
were
weren't
rec-
shilling it.
but
They weren't shilling it.
but
They were
there-
using it, and they were
But there
talking to
was
each other in
guys
the
in the
bedroom.
Hex community that would recommend it too on like a more friend-to-friend basis. Not like
of course,
on a
it's
public
been
basis.
recommended to me multiple
Yes.
times, and I steered clear of it. I stayed away. I like my crypto being where it's at. You know, Richard Hart's projects and products that he's put out, Hex and Pulse and PulseX, my money's there. That's the only place I'm at in crypto, other than my free airdrops and shit that I get. Of course, I'm taking my free airdrops. I'm stacking them, putting them away, whatever. But other than that, I stay away from all that stuff because I know 90% of it is bullshit. But real quick, back to the workout stuff, because
Yes.
you know the man, dude, I'm telling you, man, you whenever I start feeling like I start looking at guys like you guys just doing the thing, and I'm like, you know what, fuck this, man. I'm back in the gym. I got to make sure. And the problem with me is I got 8 herniated discs, and I'm 55 years old. So when anything hits me in the gym wrong, like I tweak my back a little bit, it puts me out for weeks, man. And so I'm like very careful about what I do now. And instead of just going in there and just, full blast Marine Corps, hit the thing hard. So now I'm just very careful, calculated. My gains are slower. I'm not hitting it as hard as I'd like to sometimes, but I'm like, nope, I'm not going to set myself back anymore. I'm not going to get in trouble with, just overdoing it and damaging things. And then of course, on top of, like if you get hurt, then you're out for a couple of weeks. And then that couple of weeks gives you that demotivation and you're out for a month or two, so I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So
Yeah.
slow and steady wins the race.
Yep.
I've
always got
to
to go to the gym. Like, no, my back's been hurt. Don't you get it twisted, guys. But I have been going to the gym, whether I'm just in the sauna. I just swear to God, every single day.
I did that the other day. I just went there
for 20,
just to
30
go
minutes.
there.
And I'm talking
Yes.
hardcore sauna. Like, I'm
Yes.
talking like, okay, I can't, my back's hurt. I don't really want to do legs in a weird way. I'm going to sit in the sauna for 40 minutes, like something hardcore. And I push myself in the sauna. So just another example.
But just taking those steps. Taking those steps.
Being there. Yep.
Yes. Being
So-
there is everything, guys. Everything. I don't care if you're chit-chatting one of the days and just getting a snack. If you make it the place that your mind always goes for happiness, that it's just, you can just make it happen. You manufacture it. Just fucking go.
Yeah. That's what I did. Literally did that the other day. I just went down there because they got a tanning salon there and the whole thing. And so I just went there just to do that because I wasn't feeling motivated. I was having some gut issues. Fucking red meat, man. I don't know what red meat anymore now at my age. It just doesn't sit right with me. It sets me back on my diet and the whole thing.
We should dive into that a little more on another.
I found some really cool stuff out about
after
my
the
body.
show. I'd love to talk to you more about like specifically like some of the a little bit more nuance.
And to be honest, what's really happened with me recently, I mean, I've always been in decent shape. I've always taken decent care of myself. But I've always wanted to look better and feel better and all that kind of stuff. But since I've been on this health journey over the last year, with detoxing and my doctor and my Ryan, my nutritionist, I've been able to find out a lot of things about my body and find out a lot of things about the food I consume and how it affects me. Like when I did my cleanse, when I did my detox, the first time she had me introducing proteins, I was monitoring what I was eating. And then the first time I ate some red meat, I felt ill. I just felt, and I'm like, it's just, first time red meat. Well, now as I've been on my diet phase since then, over the last 8 months, red meat has fucked me up a couple of times, like set my diet back a week. And we just got through this phase where red meat has just kind of screwed me up. And so now I'm like, okay, I know it's fish, turkey, chicken for my proteins right now. And let's just see what happens. And now my gut's feeling better. My motivation is back to get in the gym and my weight curve is going down again. So now, so just being with professionals, and learning about your body and eating right isn't about just, hey, I'm going to only eat this much now and I'm going to lose weight. No, it's about learning your body and what affects it and knowing those details. Like I know Sam, this man knows his body. Like,
Makes it so easy.
Like, and
It makes
he
it so
knows what food does to him, and he knows what workouts do for
And
him.
it makes it so easy to the point where me and Sam or anyone who's been really lean for a long time, it's basically anyone who's held muscle on their frame and been like lean to a, like if you looked at them, you're like, they're clearly lean. It's easy. I could do this without ever working out again. Literally, probably, if I'd never had to leave the room. Yes, I'd have to work out, but I could do push-ups, pull-ups, really hardcore tricep workouts, really hardcore, like, just with stuff around the house. But back in the day, I thought I had to sling 200-pound weights around. I literally thought I was in my head for years. I was like, I have to, if I can't do this 245-pound bench press for 6, like I'm going to lose gains.
There's kids in the gym,
crazy.
Or like grown men. I'm calling kids just because of the way that they're lifting, but in reality, they're grown men. And they're like, they're over there trying to curl 60 pounds and I've got 20s and I'm curling 20s and I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm fucking cool or I'm special or anything like that. You don't need to lift heavy weights to build muscle. And I'm lifting like a fraction of the weight they're lifting. And, I look fucking better than them. I have way more muscle than them. I'm leaner than them. Like I'm not missing days in the gym because I take care of all the fucking shit.
One of the biggest misconceptions that people still, even smart guys still do, is that whole progressive overload is a word that doesn't make sense. Because the way they define it doesn't make sense. Because if I do 100-pound bench press, 100 pounds, not a lot, or let's say 135 pounds, 178 times, do you think the guy next to me that did 225 for 10 reps got a better workout in? I just did 135 pounds for 170 reps without leaving and I can barely breathe. I'm about to collapse.
It's also really, really, really good. Those type of like, cause I'll do a set with like 100 reps, like pretty much every week depending on the body part of what I'm doing. But it's really good because as we get older and say, life fucking happens. We do dumb shit. We fall, we hurt ourselves in different ways. Our ligaments or tendons and our cartilage are things that don't get the same amount of blood flow as muscle. So by doing things where you increase the volume and the weight doesn't really fucking matter, but you increase the volume of something, you can increase blood flow. So the blood flow is going to bring in nutrients, growth factors, all the shit your body needs to help heal. And those ligaments, tendons, and cartilage take fucking forever to heal.
Yeah.
So like I was going to ask you about your back. I had a guy, I do a podcast, Too Much Test podcast. And I had a guy, he's a Mexican, but he also owns several stem cell clinics in Mexico. Have you ever, if it's an ongoing...
I'm working on that. So just to let you know, yes, I'm looking into my options because of the problems that I have, but we found another problem. I have a scapula that's pushed up into my clavicle for some reason. We're trying to figure that out right now. We're x-rays and MRIs and stuff, trying to find out how this, and I know when it happened. I was mountain warfare training and I smashed my chest up against a rock and I know it did something to my shoulder and everything, but back then it was like, just keep going, and let it go. So we're working on some nerve stuff there. And then of course, once I do get some things a little more dialed in, I am going to, there's some stem cellers in LA that I'm going to go to, but, enough on that. I only have a few minutes left and I wanted to talk to you guys about, you talked about staking and chapter 11. Let's talk about staking real quick because that's important, and I'd like to give my insight.
Explain some of whatever is on your heart right now that you feel like you should tell, because you probably have some insight. Just spit it out. Let us hear it. I want to hear what you got to say.
So first of all, this is financial advice, but it's really not dollar advice. It's hex advice and how to utilize hex, because hex isn't dollars. Hex is hex. And hex operates as hex. The contract is the contract, and staking has a lot of different variables and a lot of different use cases for a lot of different people. So what I want everybody to understand, and what's very, very important here, is that not everybody's strategy needs or is the same. Everybody has to look at their own risk factors, time in the market, time on this planet. Everybody has somebody who's in their 20s has a different risk factor than I do in my 50s. So my stakes aren't going to see 3 15-year strikes. My stakes are going to see 1 15-year strike and hopefully a second one, you know? So that's where everybody's time horizons and things are different. So please, first of all, think of your risk, your risk tolerance, your age and where you're at and what you need to, how you need to view this. Now, there are some pan staking strategies that everybody can utilize. One of the ways that I started my stakes was I looked at life events in my life. So I'm married. I have 3 kids. I'm closer to retirement age. So what did I want to do? Well, I looked at events first. I said, well, I want to stake for events. I have a daughter. So I said, well, I'm going to figure somewhere around 25 to 30. I want to have a dowry for her. Like if she's going to get married, I want to put something there for her for that. So I pushed it out to her age and I put my daughter's stake out there. My birthday, I'm getting rewarded for my birthday every year. So I'm putting some stake in for my birthday every year, a week before, so I can go do something with it or whatever. Right. So I started staking my birthdays. And then I looked at my anniversary with my wife, said, okay, well, I'm going to put some stakes out there a month before my anniversary so I could plan something nice for my wife in the future, because we've never been able to do any of this shit. I didn't spend no money on me and my birthdays. I didn't take my wife out anywhere for our anniversaries. You know, every month she had to find a place to put a dime where a dollar was supposed to go. That's how my life was run. I don't know about all you guys, but I worked my ass off and there was too much month at the end of the money. So, you know, I started rewarding myself that way first, is putting these event stakes, I like to call them, you know, colleges, every child in my immediate family, all of my nieces and nephews, all those kids, they all have a 15-year stake set up for them. Each one of them. I've got close to 29 wallets now just sitting out there for my kids in my family. And so I created that on top of my event stakes. And then I said, okay, it's time to set up a staking ladder. And this staking ladder is an income ladder set up for retirement. I like to call it kind of like an advanced 401k program. The staking ladder really is that. It's really a perpetual kind of retirement plan. If you're young, you get to set up a really bitchin' one. If you're older like me, then, you know, you've got to look at when you want to retire. Like for me, I said, you know, I'm going to start my staking ladder in 2 years. I'm going to let it mature for 2 years, and then I'm going to push it out. And the way I gauged how I pushed it out was I looked at the average staking length, and I said, okay, I'm going to build my ladder as deep as the average staking length, thinking that I was going to be kind of timing the hex stakes for maximum absorption. So like 6 years is what I calculated. So what I did was I set up a monthly stake for 6 straight years. And my plan on those was to now, because I was in early, I was able to set those up immediately, right? Because we had lots and lots of hex at that time. I mean, we were buying 1 million hex with 1 ETH, that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah. And so we took a lot of that and built these staking ladders and things. But what you can do is dollar cost into a staking ladder. So now every month you're filling out another month. So like say you're 30 years old and you want to retire at, let's say 55. So what's that? 25 years, right? So 25 years is you know, when you want to retire. So let's go ahead and do a 555 stake today and put it in for January of that January of whatever that 555 year is, right? So now you put that in. So then the next month you put another one in for that next month. And now you're starting to build on 555. So now 15 years comes. You're still 10 years away from retirement. So guess what you get to do now? When that 15-year stake comes out, you can either set the whole thing back in, which would be my suggestion, or you just take the principal and put the interest back out there for your retirement. You steal from your retirement if you want to, right? So at this point, you're 45 years old. You have 2 options. Either take some of that stake out now or continue to create your retirement plan. Imagine what that 555 steak's going to look like. And now you're doing this every month. You're putting a little bit out there every, the next month after that 555 steak, the next month after. And then you do that for, say, 6 years. All you're doing is entering into like a 401k for 6 years. And you've created a 6-year deep 15-year stake that you can roll back out another 10 years to get your retirement going. And now when your retirement does come, when you are, say, 50, 55, or whatever that may be, whatever you've set the timing frame up for, now your stakes are going to be so matured, so big, your retirement is going to look phenomenal. Now, how many people are going to do this? I don't know. Because what I've always said is that, and when we were making 555 stakes in the early days, people were like, oh, I'm so diamond handed. I'm never going to pull those stakes out. I would never emergency end stake, blah, 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 blah. And I said, know what, motherfuckers? I said, mark my words. Mark my words. We're buying these hex at 0.00015 or whatever. We're buying them for insanely cheap amounts, right? People were staking hundreds of thousands of hex, millions of hex, 15 years into the future. What's going to happen at 7.5 years? And those hex stakes, let's say hex is at $5 or $10 or $100. And those 15-year stakes that are 7.5 years, now you can get that principal out. What's 100,000 hex that cost you pennies back then going to do to you when it's worth millions? Are you going to be still strong-handed, or are you going to pull that principal out because now it's worth millions? I think 7.5 more years is a long time. And I think a lot of people that need money made 15-year stakes, not realizing that in 7.5 years, they're probably going to be weak-handed and pull them motherfuckers out. And I think that in 7.5 years from now, from the beginning of staking, we're going to see emergency end stake penalties go through the roof for those of us who are going to stay in our stakes. And for those next 7 years after that, you're just going to see freaking penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty, because hex can be, who knows at that point? What if hex is $100 at that point? People are going to be emergency end staking that shit like crazy. Like crazy. So
yeah, no, it's right. I think that giving the example of your thought process and how you structure that is valuable, because I've asked other people just so that people can get a perspective, right? Because one of the things that is helpful to people is you can learn by taking your action, right? Or you can learn from other people. And by you going through and sharing your perspective on your thought process and how you structure it for your own life, I think is hopefully valuable to some of the people who are listening. You mentioned retirement, and I wanted to ask you what you define as retirement, because I feel like I'm retired already. Like I feel like I'm retired. I don't plan on changing anything. And if somebody's like this in my mind, and I'm
the
not saying
kids
this right
though,
now,
is it the kids that really, and the family that really ties the retirement? Like, and I'm with Sam on this boat. Like, that word to me, I don't even know what the fuck it means, because I have no responsibilities. Like, I don't even, like, I could retire. I'm just like, I'm like goal chasing, right? Like, it's like where I'm at, it's just like, oh, shoot for the stars, kid. Like, you got 5 years, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, for a guy like me, retirement meant something different than maybe a lot of people, because I was a blue collar guy working 14-hour days, 16-hour days, 6-7 days a week. You know,
how long did that? Like
30 years of that.
Yeah, see that, I never experienced.
And that's the grind, man. That's like the grind, you know. And I don't complain about it. It raised my. It bought me 2 homes here in Southern California. My wife got to stay home.
Well, that's why you're the fucking goat now.
Well, I mean,
no, it gives you the good personality too. You work with people, you learn the streets, not the streets, but like you learn how to deal with rough peoples. You learn how to deal with cool people. Awesome. Like, you learn how to rich guys, poor guys, like that's kind of, you brought that vibe to like where you're at now, where you're very flexible with who you can speak with and who you can like, you deal with everyone very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just life experience is all it is. And I wouldn't take any, my time out there in the field working and doing what I did. It wasn't always enjoyable, and it was hard on my body, and it was hard on my mind, and hard on my family. but it also did things for us. And even though it got harder and harder as time went on for us to survive out here, you know, I wouldn't take anything. I wouldn't give anything back is what I'm saying. Cause if it took all that stuff to get me here where I'm at today. I mean, today my life is just in a completely different direction. I never thought it would be in, you know, this whole movie and everything that we're making and crypto itself and streaming and talking to people
Probably
and
like
sharing.
a fucking movie.
But
Your life's like a fucking movie, and then they're actually making the movie, which you're in, which is cool. Because come on, your life is kind of like a fucking movie, dude.
It's
like,
a fucking movie.
You're in
dude.
fucking Lamborghinis and shit, fucking around, doing whatever the fuck you want with your buddies, shooting guns, fucking have a personal trainer that can fucking dial you in 24/7. Like you've fucking changed everything, and that's very powerful.
Changed, man. It is, and that's what I call retirement now. Because you know, at first I thought it was my fucking couch, a fishing trip every week, the beach, surfing. I thought that was retirement. Now it's changed into so much more because now my life has this different purpose because I feel like this community and Richard Hart has given me something to go help the world with. Now my life is having more significance than just being the hardworking guy that supported his family and worked hard for his family with integrity to do so, and all that kind of stuff. Now it's like, now I'm being offered a position to go out and help the world with things like this staking ladder, like I know guys that are sitting on their couches right now that are desperate, destitute, going through their second or third divorce because of what life has handed them, because of what a working man has to go through out here, that didn't make the same choices that I did, but didn't do anything wrong. They just made some different choices. And because of that, they ended up drunk on their couches don't know where they're going to go because they have no retirement. This is something that I think can save those guys, because those guys are where my heart really is. And women out there too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know there's women out there that work hard too, especially single moms and all that kind of stuff. But this is like that thing that can get us out of that funk that we're all in, which is, what's the future going to look like for us? Because financially, our future sucks. It sucks so hard because they fucked our money up and they fucked our tools up to save money for the future. And this is that thing that I see that can get us out of that. And I was lucky, man. I was able to make the right choices to get myself out of that and find crypto. I mean, I got to admit, there's some luck involved here, me finding this. But because of that, and too much is given, much is expected, I think I've told myself, no, there ain't no retirement for you, RG. You've got to go out there and be the mouthpiece to help other people see this. Don't let other people FUD it. Don't let other people try and take it away from us through legislation or anything else like that. Go out there and be the fucking mouthpiece. Be the passionate mouthpiece, because this is really in my heart. This thing is in my heart, That's why I'm taking care of myself, because I want to be around to go out and slap motherfuckers in the face with this thing. Because it can't be just some guy, some nerd guy trying to talk about it. It's got to be somebody who's got some passion and some balls to go out there and stick this in everybody's faces. And that's me. That's who I am. That's what I do. I may not be the smartest guy in the room, but I'm the most passionate, and you won't out fucking work me. You will not outwork me. Nobody will. You can't. I will fucking die first before any of you outwork me. That's how I feel about this. And I'm passionate about it. And I'm going to go and take it to the world. And I'm going to go and show people that we have something here that we should all feel responsible to go do so. So I'm not retiring. No. I've got just a different purpose in life. I'm too young. I'm too healthy. I'm too good to just go sit on a couch and go fishing every weekend and say, fuck all you guys. I got mine.
That's why I asked that, Cam. That's why I asked that question.
In the blue collar world, the blue collar world really does have a hard time. Not you, RG, but like in general, I did a lot of that work too. They stay where they don't like to change their mind about shit.
Yeah, man.
So when you say save them, I know what you mean, because they're not changing their mind. Period. End of story. We could talk about them being open-minded, closed-minded, spiritual, blah, blah, blah. They're like, fuck you. I've done busting my ass for 40 fucking years. My back's half broken. I have no health and fitness IQ, and I'm wrecked. And if you could somehow give those guys some financial freedom, it opens their minds, because they've never had it, and they've never thought they could have it, and they've told themselves that they shouldn't or won't have it.
Yeah, this whole thing has opened my mind to a new way of life. A new way of life for my family, a new way of life for me physically, mentally, emotionally, a new way of life for my path forward, a new purpose. And it's weird. This crypto thing did that, man. It just, I never expected it to, you know, it was always, for me, it was like, cause I'm a hustler, man. And I worked all these hours and all this time, but I always had side businesses and side hustles in order to make ends meet, you know? And it just so happened that this crypto thing took off and did something different, but it has expanded me in a different way. And I give a lot of it to Richard, and even Richard may not talk, you know, act on the same tenets or the same wavelength that I am. Like, I know he's not into his physical health as much as he should be. I know that he's focusing on other things too. You know, and I wish he would. Richard, get your ass in shape, bro. We need you around. You need to get yourself taken care of. So, and by the way, the picture I sent you, keep it under wraps.
Yeah,
Send it to Sam though. I want Sam to see. That's not my after yet. That's just where I'm at right now.
That's a middle shot.
That's a
Or
middle
like a
shot.
progress shot. Huge progress. You looked mad fucking wrecked. Not necessarily body wise, but you just you looked unhealthy for certain, like your face did. And then now it doesn't. So that's incredible.
Yeah, it's a hell of a shift
I'll send
from
Sam
there
that.
to now.
I'm excited to see you on this journey of both your passion about, because for me, retirement is living every moment with intention and purpose.
Oh,
So I don't need some fucking like thing. I just need to live every moment with purpose and intention. And to me, that's retirement.
yeah.
And I don't think people put in their fucking minds that this thing like, whoa, I'm gonna go to.
Could you imagine the power? So this is the mindset of the Hexagon. I'm noticing that, and there's a few outliers, but in general, we all have the same tenets. Like Richard Hart's heart for people, heart for the space and what he's doing, and all of us, it's all resonating, and I can see it coming out of all of us. Imagine when we all have the power of retirement or freedom, or that financial freedom, to get the money thing out of the way and to be able to just take like how I am right now. Like the money thing is out of the way for me. It's out of the way. And my mind is just going boom. I have all of these open avenues to take my life in now. And I want to do it in this space, and I want to do it with the Hexagon community. Now, imagine the power of all of us having that. And that's coming. It's coming for a lot of people. So hang in there, guys, because in the next few years, you're not even going to recognize your life. So start getting your mind focused now to where you can take that money, to where you can take your life. Start preparing. This is the bear market. This is the downtime. This is time to start preparing your life. You know, I was doing this, setting myself up for success in physically, mentally, emotionally, and where I was going to take my Hexagon career. You know, I've been preparing that. And now that the financial thing is out of the way and the freedom is here, I have so much power now. I have so much energy now to go out in the space. And there's going to be tons of Hexagons much better than me that are going to be able to have the same thing and to be able to go out and perpetuate this. There is nothing that's going to be able to stop us. This is what crypto was made for.
But this is what allows the United States to change in the direction that we want it to change in, by having people in leadership that are willing to actually stand up instead of bend over, right? Like those people who are willing to take the action needed to move things forwards in the right way. And what RG was just mentioning, like, start with yourself and looking in the fucking mirror today to start. It doesn't matter what it is. If you just need to clean up your bathroom because you're a fucking slob, then take care of that step. You can't take care of bigger shit until you take care of the small stuff.
Yep. You gotta get
why can't I out of the way? Why can't I get
when you're doing fun stuff, like for example, like I've been playing around for a couple hours with this video game thing. Like, you can do it in an intentional way too. I was looking at the market for the game. I was trying to see if I could sell the account. I was trying to no, seriously though. I know, because I had 2,600 hours on this account from when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, I'm smart enough to probably recover this now. I could probably call them and figure this shit out. Ended up figuring it out. And now I'm like seeing streamers that are streaming the shit. And I'm like, you know, I thought about it in a more intentional way. Rather, when I was younger, I'd have just been like playing the game for fucking 30 hours straight, hated it after, you know what I mean? So everything you do in your life, I feel retired too. Like, I mean, to be honest, like I never, ever since I quit my job and just started focusing on being intentional in every moment, like, yeah, I have felt just the way I want to feel.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys. So first of all, chat room, I didn't have you turned on. I'm sorry, but hey to all of you, man. Freaking love all
everyone's
you
showing you major
Hexicans.
love.
Support these guys. They got a great stream. I loved what you guys did yesterday. It was
great.
awesome. For some reason, I was in the gym watching it and it cut me off and said, "This stream is now private." And I was like, "What?" I couldn't get it turned on. So
you might have connected to their Wi-Fi or some shit.
Something happened. I don't know, but whatever. But anyway, guys, I got to roll. I got a physical therapy appointment. I got a sports therapist that works on me and stuff, so I don't want to miss it.
Thanks so much for hopping on, RG. I hope we can talk soon. Good luck on your journey, brother.
You guys keep killing it.
Need help or have questions or
hit us up, bro,
around the fitness or the biohacking or peptide shit, like happy to help.
Sweet. All right, bros. Have a good weekend. Have a good one, man. Thanks for having me. Talk to you.
That was
something I want to read real quick to change the tune. Celsius Network, guys. I think
2 hours ago.
Yeah. Okay. This is really upsetting, actually. So, guys, lost it all. My last words. I had my entire life savings in Celsius, mid 6 figures. Won't say the exact amount. I have 4 kids in elementary school and a wife that has no idea what I've done. Am no longer able to pay bills, let alone the mortgage. I think this is for me. I think this is it for me. It's been a wild ride, but I suppose this is the risk we all take. Greed is certainly a powerful force. No need to write any cope. Our funds are 100% lost, and we are last in the list for repayment as unsecured creditors. Mt. Gox people still haven't been paid yet, and it's been close to 8 years. And even then, it'll be 20% max, although they can get the BTC, whereas they just fucked outright. See you guys on the other side. Stay strong, brother. Celsius ruined life.
Doesn't sound like a very was there a bottom piece to that? That does not sound like a super great that person might be in a really bad spot mentally. You know?
Yes.
They might want to like do some bad stuff to themselves. So, you know, it never hurts to touch somebody else, you know what I mean? And reach out to somebody and just say hi.
This is serious shit. If you don't think this is serious shit, this is why me and Sam take it this seriously. If you guys know, I take this shit so seriously. My reputation so seriously. I would give up all my money if I had to shill some bullshit, like, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do it because my reputation's too important to me. And I am so hyper aware of the downstream effects of saying random dumb shit online. That's why these shows aren't always like, oh, if you think I could make this show a little more popular by saying XRP 300x in the next 4 months, question mark, with me at my face like doing some weird shit, do you think my channel would pop off? Yeah, no shit it would, because that's what the YouTube algo loves. But me and Sam are aware that we need to build grassroots, that we need to do this properly, and we need to understand what we're talking about if we want to be the top, if we want to be the best. And that's what nobody wants. They don't prepare to be the best. They prepare to get some pennies on the ground. You know,
Alan,
what I mean?
Yes, Alan, thank you for the super chat.
So much, Alan. Oh,
there you go. 1% better a day model works wonders. It does. It absolutely does. Better yourself every day. Before you know it, you will be like our RG3. My life has been on that journey, Alan, and I look back every even year at the incredible amount of change and growth that I've gone through as a person every year. Like, I'm 37 fucking years old. I've done a lot of fucking shit. And
bad shit, good shit, medium, everything. All
like been in jail for 6 months, been to 18 different countries, written a book, like started businesses, sold business, like all sorts of fucking shit. And
thought you were down and out probably 100 times over, but realized that you just can't be down and out. Like you just realize that you can't be down and out if your attitude's good, and then good things happen to you if you just keep going doing the right thing. I swear to God, if you do the right thing, like the right things happen to you, because no one else does. No one else. I mean, not as many people do. It's just like the 5%. Like the 5% of people will get the funds from the bull market. 5% of people will take advantage of the opportunities that they have, that everyone has laid in front of them. Everyone. They're all right there in front of your face. I learned how to do all this shit in like 100 days. No problem. I never even had a computer. It's easy. It's easy. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, streaming every day is so freaking hard. It's fucking easy. It's so easy. It's just easy fucking all day long.
But that's we literally had a conversation.
But people come in here, they're like, I could never stream. I could never stream. It would be so hard. It would be so this. And I'm like, it's literally not hard. You literally just turn your camera on.
But it's also that applies. You just had a conversation this morning that you weren't particularly fond of having, and
Yes.
the mental gymnastics that we play before taking action on something that we're creating a story, we're creating some type of thing in our mind, and the mental gymnastics that we go through to not do those things is angst or a drain on your energy and your power and your confidence during the day. And the faster you can go through and take action on those things, we talked about this before we get on. After Jersey had this conversation, it was probably, he didn't say these in his exact words, but I bet he probably felt this way, that there was a weight that was almost lifted, so to speak, because you took it down and you're like, wow,
it was more
less
of a weight and more of like a neurotic, like blind spot. Like the way that I like to describe it, it's like I had a neurotic blind spot where my brain started feeding me automatically without my permission, guys. It started judging what the other person was thinking about me when I know in reality I would have no idea what the other person's thinking about me. So there's this automatic thing that goes on in your head. Like if let's say someone that you thought maybe represented you as someone who was rich, had to realize you weren't rich, but you never actually told them you were rich. You just lived your life, and that's what they assumed, or they didn't. You can't assume what other people think about you. You never get it right. It'll never do anything right. You just have to say what you believe and be honest, and not yell at people. If you can.
Well, we're yelling at people, we're not.
$20 super chat. If anyone needs to talk, I've been wrecked and I feel like there was no way out. Every day presents a fresh start. I agree 100%. I have been wrecked so bad, like in a cop car, tripping balls while they're talking about like charges that are like 5 to 10 years. And I'm just like in the back of the seat, like no idea what planet I'm on. Like, you know what I mean? Like just like times where I'm like, wake up in the morning and they're like, dude, I was under a case at some point. This is a true story. The charges that were initially brought to my attention that I was going to be charged with were attempted murder. That was the first charge they mentioned. My mom was sitting right next to me. I was in the hospital. I was 19 years old, tripping absolute balls. Like, oh my God, tripping balls. Like I never could even imagine how hard anyone could trip that hard. And they're like, your son is being something with attempted murder because I stole this car and there was somebody in it and like I crashed the car and that was, so there was like conjecture between the two groups. They didn't know what was going on. And again, I was out of it. I didn't try to kill nobody. But I was just like, and I remember waking up from that, going to court, being on probation for 3 years, doing weekends in jail, not knowing if I was going to get fucking wrecked because you don't know. Like you really don't know when you're going through the court system what they're going to be vibing with that day. Luckily, my parents bought a lawyer for me at the time, and that it worked out. Like I was sober for 6 years after that point. I did not drink or smoke weed at all. I went to AA meetings twice a day for probably 3 years straight. I lived in a halfway house with 12 guys that all were heroin addicts, and it was a small ass house, 4 to a room, and I had no car, and I wasn't in a city. So it's like, I remember just thinking like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like and I started climbing towers. I found out I was like, tower climber, like they make $22 an hour. That's more than blah, blah, blah at the time. And I said, fuck it, I'll do it. Sketchiest job you could ever do in a million, thousand, billion years. We're talking about all random shit today, but I'm just saying like, yes, for anyone that has any hard times in your life, just know you can make it through if you just do the right thing and you're not addicted to drugs. If you're addicted to drugs, it makes it tricky.
And there's plenty of people out here that would be happy and they would want to talk to you. And not everybody's just going to be like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should stop this, you should do that. There's plenty of people out there that just would be happy to listen to whatever it is that you're going through and then shut the fuck up. Right? Just like listen to you and so that you can be heard, because so many people go through stress. Well, stress is just mental shit that you can't fucking deal with. So you're creating stress on yourself. Right? So when you go through and you feel stress, that's you creating the stress in yourself. And a lot of people create stress in themselves in some way because they don't feel that they're being heard, whether it's in their relationship, whether it's their family, whether it's with their finances, whether it's with anything in their effing fucking life, just because that. But there's so many people out there that would just be happy to be there and listen if you're going through a tough time. Before we kind of like get into the tail end of the show here, I wanted to talk briefly about hex staking versus providing LP, because there is a, like you had mentioned, I think at the beginning of the show, somebody else was doing a video and like hex people don't understand what LP is. They're scared of it. And those things that they're not familiar with, they get scared of. So let's do like a hypothetical example. I'm going to have a full video on this later today if you guys care, like, and have slides and shit kind of put together for that. So if somebody wanted to get 10 t-shirts, that's about $10,000, right? And so say they put in $10,000 and then they're going to, DCA, $500 a month or whatever their prerogative is, $5,000 a month, moving forward, right? So what you could take your 10,000 and you could stake that for X period of time, whatever that your prerogative is, or you could take your $10,000 and provide liquidity and earn hex, right? So let's take a look, just quick example here, and then we can kind of wrap things up. This is just a calculator.
And if anyone has questions while we're going, just drop them below.
Yes. Because there's a lot of fucking
and we'll be going into this more too. I might hop on later, not for this, but just in general, and we'll see what's going on later. RG came on the show and he's always busy, so I wanted to jump him on. So we kind of did it. The last two shows we've just been going off our cuff, but hey, they've been really popular and it's been really fun. So let's just keep it going.
Yes, it looks like RG is not a fan of LP. I'm a fan of LP, but everybody's got their own journey, right? You do your own journey. So,
well, he said leave it to the pro. I mean,
leave it to the pro. Leave it to the pros.
No, I agree with him to a degree, but you got to realize where you're at, starting to become, Sam. I mean, whether you like it or not. I mean, you've been studying finance for 25 years. So, I mean, you're fair to say you are a pro. So you might have just thought, like, in a way, but I think he is right. Like, if there's guys in here that have just dibble-dabbled with this shit, like just dibble-dabbled, maybe.
I don't even have any concern that those people will even comprehend what the fuck I'm about to talk about.
But I wanted to decipher that because RG, I think it's really important too to remember, like, that no hexicans know how to provide LP, and it is a function, and it has a reason that it's there, and it's possible to use it in a way that's safe and effective as far as whatever the pair you decide. In my opinion, if you like both pairs, like, I don't mind having US dollar, I don't mind having hex. I got hex stakes up my ass. So
this is, and for LP, if you don't know what LP is, it's you taking money and you place this into a smart contract on Uniswap. You can do it on Pancake. You can do it on a bunch of different fucking dexes out there. Now, when somebody trades from USDC to hex, or if somebody trades from hex to USDC, they pay a fee. That fee is paid in the incoming coin. So if USDC is going to hex, then they pay the fee in USDC. So you earn USDC coming through. When hex comes through the other direction, you earn hex. So providing liquidity between hex and USDC, you earn hex in USDC in this. So let's take a look at this here. $10,000, right? This is where the current market price is. This is the band around it. You can change these if you'd like to change these to make it so that you don't have to adjust your position.
It becomes as you look into this more, these two charts become a little easier to read, but the gauging of it.
I've looked at this.
That would be the part that most people probably, like, would get the most confused on, probably just because there is variable there and you can change things. So, and I don't have enough insight, Sam probably does, about moving these bands and like.
Well, ask me any questions. Ask me if you have
yeah,
any
so basically,
questions.
in my opinion, like moving those bands closer together would give you less risk.
Less risk in the sense that you are earning a higher return, and if you earn a higher return, you're compensated for the fact that you have a higher probability of the pink, which is the current price, moving outside. So let's just go through a quick example. So say right here we have the pink, which is the current market price, and then this is where you'd provide liquidity between these two ranges. See, we'd need about 200,000 hex and about $2,700 of USDC. So what happens? Say the price trends down like this, right? And it's always in a ratio, right? I've made videos on my YouTube channel about this. I'm going to do a more in-depth video on this later today. What happened right here? Now your $10,000 is all in USDC, right? That's what impermanent loss is. If the price goes in the other direction in this chart here, then you're all in hex. Right, so that it can move in either direction. So the closer you make these bands, do you think it comes outside of this range or inside the range more often?
Outside.
Yes. So if you have this position and it's going to come outside of this position more often, then that means you're going to have to adjust your position more often. You don't have to trade. You don't need to do anything.
So you may have to pay attention more often.
Correct. So let's just put it back over to here.
So if you're providing liquidity in a larger range, it's probably just more beneficial, but the gains are a little less.
Yes, sir. Okay, so look at this so you could buy 10 T shares for $10,000. What does that get you? 60 hex per day, right? 6 hex times 10 T shares is about 60 hex per day. So you can get 60 hex per day, or you could put $10,000 into LP, and on a daily basis, you're getting about $24. You can not see my calculator. Is that correct?
No, sir.
So $24.08 divided by 3.5 cents gets you 688 hex per day. So would you rather have 60 hex per day or 688 hex per day?
And but the difference is just risk, right? Like if you staking a little bit, and this is why I only stake a little bit at a time, because I don't like to over leverage myself into stakes at all. You never want to over leverage yourself into stakes. But this is a way when you have liquid capital, which we all fucking do, then you can actually earn fees on that in a decentralized way, guys. So that it's really, it's becoming more apparent how dope this is as Celsius and everything goes to the absolute floor. Because and this shit is lit.
Correct. And I provide liquidity, and I'm ramping up positions in liquidity because I'm like, why aren't more fuckers doing this? The annual rate on here is 87%. What is hex? 40%. You're literally double that, right? Like, I'm not saying.
And this wouldn't be your best option if you knew we were in a full-blown bull market, right? Like, you might not want to.
Maybe not. Exactly.
And that's fine. Like,
but think about
strategy, guys. It's like if you think the price is not going to floor at that moment for months on end, this might not be your favorite move. It's a different use case, guys. It's a use case. You can earn money this way with liquid capital that you might or might not have anyway and might not give a fuck about. You know, like all this money that's on my account, I've never taken it out. So this is very intriguing to me as I move forward. Again, I like to get really saucy with the info before I do things, but some people are a little looser and goosier. You know what I mean? Some people got 100 bands in their fucking shit and they're ready to go, and doesn't bother them to move it. There's strategies for making money so you can feel financially free. The average millionaire has 5 revenue income streams, and this would be one of them.
and I think this person, Gob Lynn, sounds like they don't fully understand this.
Well, you get wrecked on a ratio of hex to USDC, but again, some people
USDC.
Some people always again the amount matters. Like the amount that you are risking matters. If this was 100% of Sam's net worth, this would be the riskiest fucking move ever. But it wouldn't be the riskiest move ever, but you know what I mean? It would be a lot more work to like benefit ratio. But when this is just income that you have in your account, guys, if you don't have USDC in your account, you're a fool. You're a fool. You are a fool.
Bullish says it right here. Wrong, because he doesn't mind having USDC. I couldn't care less if I had
Exactly.
USDC or Hex. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. And if the price, let's say the price runs massive right this fucking second, guys. So right this fucking second, he ends up with a fuck ton of USDC and no Hex. This is not all his money.
Correct.
And you don't have to do it with all your fucking money. You just do it with 10%. Right, Sam?
And
10%.
And if this is like if you have the same belief, right, as Goblin, like, then don't do it. It's pretty simple. Like, just don't do it, because then
I don't think it's the same belief. It's just like it's just about how much money you put in. Again, like, is it the same belief if you only put in 1%? Like, are you wrecked?
Well, but you're not wrecked. It's like a misnomer. People just don't understand what impermanent loss is. Like, you're not fucking wrecked. You're just holding.
Oh, so you think he's actually you think he might just have the definition wrong in his head? Oh, see, I was assuming, in my head.
If you
just understand, you don't get wrecked. You just end up with one side of the LP pool.
Yes.
So you don't lose any of your money. You just lose which coin that it was actually sitting in.
Correct.
Therefore, the value of that coin. So, like, if his $10,000 goes all the way down, it's just going to be his $10,000. Like, it's just going to be. And guess what? You don't provide LP with your whole fucking stack. So if you did, and then you had no Hex, yeah, you would be wrecked, because the Hex price would go up. You would have missed it all. But that's not how smart people do shit. No smart person does anything.
Just
like
think about, like, you're like, I'm bullish on Hex. If that's your prerogative and that's what you believe, and you're like, how could I acquire Hex faster? Right? If
I'm
you're
bullish
like
on USDC right now. If you want me to be fucking true.
I do say I'm waiting for the dip. I'm waiting for like 1 cent Hex, in all honesty. But so say you like Hex and you want to acquire Hex, right? Well, you can just go take your $10,000 and go buy Hex and fucking stake that into the future. Then your shit is tied up, right? And potentially you leverage yourself in terms of not having any liquid if you need liquid for some reason, right? As RG was talking about, there's a lot of people who are over leveraged themselves or not going to be in the position to wait 15 years for the 15-year stake because they put too much out there, and then they won't be able to actually hold their shit. So when you want to acquire a bag, you could use your $10,000 to earn yield, right? So you're earning $600 a month. Now, if you're like, cool, this is awesome, and I fully understand what I'm doing here, you can take your $600 and put it into a fucking Hex stake, and then do the same thing next month to compound what you're doing from a DCA standpoint. Like, if you don't, like, this is one part of the, like, crypto's fucking gigantic, and it's only going to continue to grow.
And this is decentralized, Sam.
Yeah, which is amazing.
I don't think people are putting that into perspective. And that's, please frame back to Celsius, Terra Luna, Voyager. Please, I'll go all the way back to fucking last fucking week, where these things all went to fucking zero. Centralized control. This is incredible technology. And this is absolutely phenomenal. Because of the awesome. It just gives guys like us that are strategic and not fucking risky, like, you know, risky in a, I guess it depends who you're talking to, but too risky for me, for my goldfish brain. I'm a pleb, but I'm not a wreck pleb, and that's okay. Like, that's totally
nothing wrong with that, bro.
Some people work all fucking day long doing other shit that takes a lot of mental energy, and they don't feel like doing, like, you know what I mean? It's just not what their life model looks like at the moment. Me and Sam kind of put ourselves into 100% crypto. We're crypto guys now. Like, we're not dealing with the banks as much. Like, we're trying to support crypto. Like, I think,
T-Bird, you can provide liquidity in any effing tokens you believe in. I just chose USDC because it is the pair that a lot of people in the chat believe in, right, to trade into Hex. If you fucking don't like USDC, then you could provide LP on wrapped Bitcoin and fucking ETH.
And if you don't trust stable coins, then it's fine too. Like, if you don't trust stables, like, you can do it between Hedron, or you can do it between Pulse Dogecoin if you're a Pulse Dogecoin guy. You can do it between Pulse Chain. You can do it between, and is it going to suck if you end up with like a fat bag of Pulse Chain instead of Hex? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. If it does 1000x, like, whatever. You don't know what you don't know. So saying that LP is risky is the same thing as saying you know what the future is, which is false. And that's the truth. That is the truth. If you say that providing liquidity is risky, then you're saying you know the future. Now, I will step to that point about the stable coins. We have seen stable coin failures, and there is a lot of nuance there. And again, I'll go back to the pro statement. Like, you do have to be a pro to a degree. And it is fair to say, like, I know every stable coin now, and I know a lot about a lot of shit now. So it's fair to say that we've like entered a level that the average user probably won't get to.
And
if you know what I mean.
And speaking about stable coins, there is, which is probably today, I will probably make a second video. It might be released tomorrow in relation to Trust Token. It is another way to get into crypto. When you think about centralized exchanges, you think about the Coinbase or KuCoin or Binance, right? Well, there is other ways to get into crypto, which I'm just learning about. Trust Token. So I set up an account. So you still garbage that you have to put in KYC. However, instead of Coinbase holding your fucking money for 2 weeks and charging you a stupid high fee, right? You can use Trust Token, and then you have to wait there for 2 weeks, and then you have to transfer it out and pay another fee to get it into your wallet, right? What if you didn't have to pay those fees? You only had to pay a tiny, itty bitty little fee, and you get a stable coin dropped into your wallet, right? I think it's TUSD. TUSD, I think it is. TUSD.
So and just in general, guys, there is risk in stable coins as we go. We're going to be very critical and staring at that shit all the time. Like, if there's any news about anything, who do you think would be the first people to learn about it? Me, Sam, Bullish, everyone who interacts on Twitter 24/7 for crypto stuff. I get to this stuff about 5 or 6 days before it hits the general public. That's kind of what I'm finding. Like, for Maximus, for everything that I've covered since I've been locked in, I'm like 4 or 5 days ahead of the curve. So it's important to understand, like, as we go forward, I'm going to be covering, like, if there's any problems with USDC or anything I see, because USDC is where all my money is. Not all my money, but you know what I mean. All my crypto wealth, for the most part, other than my stakes and my sacrifices and all my free claims. So I think it's interesting. I forgot what I was saying, but
I don't know. So there's, I like talking about B because there's so many people who just don't understand what it is.
Yeah, it's a good topic for discussion for sure. It gets people's minds going, and it's very simple. It's 90 days ago, I didn't know what liquidity was. I didn't know what volume was. I didn't know what a computer fucking did. Basically, Sam Still's like, oh, press Control Plus, the shit zooms in. I'm like, what? I'm like, this shit zooms in when you press this button, like. So we're early, but I am a very critical thinker when it comes to what I'm focusing on. I put a lot of the other stuff to the side, and I'm telling you guys, decentralized, providing liquidity, figuring out what's going on, figure this crypto shit out, guys. You'll be done working in 3 years. Figure it out.
Yeah, well, we'll cover this last comment here, and then we can wrap things up here with some DeFi proof. So before we read Bullish's comment here, because it's 100% accurate, you can Google range orders, but there's some links down below if you want to say what's good on Twitter. Both of our links are down below for Twitter as well as on Instagram. Been getting some really big progress with some reels on Instagram, so you guys should check out. Yes, I had one go to 6,000, I think, views the other day in like 24 hours. So I'll be posting.
I've only had one. No, I've only had 2 that have ever done good.
It's very interesting.
The Instagram thing is interesting for sure. Instagram is absolute trash, though, if you're not just working. Like, if you're not working, if you're actually trying to enjoy and I'm not, there's not that many people in here, so I'm not like fucking anything up, but god damn, they need to fix Instagram, man. Dude, make Instagram great again. Instagram was the greatest. Now I can never tell who the fuck's DMing me. I have 50 DMs for every fucking random account that has 1,000 subs on it, and it's absolutely broken. If anyone could fix that or know someone who could fix that, please tell them to fix it, because I want to enjoy Instagram again. I want to enjoy it. I want to not be scamming people. Don't forget. Oh yeah. So guys, before we go, let me close this segment real quick with biceps in the chat if you want another GRC stream later. biceps in the chat. We have a special video that Bullish is going to pull up. And this is KSBTV/golf, the golf tournament in Vegas next month, guys. You know I'm going to be there. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I'm getting everyone to go. I'm jacked up for the golf tournament. We have the first video here, Bullish. I don't want to give the details because I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give a bit of a detail. So so everyone knows the golf tournament is coming up September 5th. I offered some of my services, you know, to help with the fundraising and just getting the promotional out there stuff. So
Not that.
So here's a video that I literally finished last night. This is the clean version. There's a dirty version coming out in about 2 hours. So look out for that as well. But yeah, here's the video.
See you guys tomorrow. Right, we're gonna.
Join Hex Ladies at the Pulse Masters Golf Tournament on September 5th, 2022. This event is the official kickoff to PulseCon Las Vegas. Individuals and teams of 4 of every skill level are invited to party with us on the golf course at the renowned Revere Golf Club. There will be 2 shotgun start times. This is an event you do not want to miss. Come mix and mingle with golfers and influencers from all over the crypto space. Visit ksb.tv/golf for more info and to donate. You can also donate to Hex Ladies on Cash App.
Fantastic video. Thank you so much, Bullish, guys. KSBTV/golf. We will see you later, guys. DeFi proof, 2 minutes and 1 second.
Young folks, you tripping on them motherfucker. Richard Heart. Richard Heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. .1 every day we mark. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Checking my MetaMask moving. Look at the Hex, he is mooning. Looking at wives they be choosing. Peter is why they be losing. Pull chains out and they'll get me a check. He's gas up and it got me a mess. Remember the times he died collect. Hex I been eating, I'm dying in the best. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Getting this back like a year ago. Getting this post, I ain't letting go. Swerving the ring like a Lambo. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Bought my Hex from the fucking start. Sacrificing all this bread like I'm Richard Heart. Got paid on big payday and I had a hair restart. Now I'm checking on my pulse just to check my heart. Richard Heart. Richard Heart.